Written by Pranab Mukherjee's daughter, Sharmishta Mukherjee, is at the center of political conspiracy because it has revealed former president's thoughts on Rahul Gandhi. The book, titled Pranab, My Father, a daughter remembers, carries excerpts from former president's diary entries and personal stories of the lifetime congressman narrated to his daughter. Referring to the diary entries, the book says that Pranab Mukherjee advised Rahul Gandhi to join the cabinet to get some first-hand experience in governance, but Rahul Gandhi did not heed the advice. It says Pranab Mukherjee thought of Rahul Gandhi as someone who is full of questions but yet to mature politically. Pranab also wrote in his diary about the 2013 episode when Rahul Gandhi tore an ordinance that sought to overturn the Supreme Court ruling that disqualified convicted MPs and MLAs. At that time, Rahul Gandhi spoke against the party's decision and called the move complete nonsense. The book, quoting former president, says Rahul Gandhi's actions were totally uncalled for and reflected that Rahul Gandhi had all the arrogance of his Gandhi-Nehru lineage without their political acumen. Another excerpt from the book, Sharmishta writes that her father felt that some of the comments made by Rahul Gandhi reflected his political immaturity. The book also says Pranab was disappointed by Rahul Gandhi's constant disappearances. He felt that Sonia Gandhi was bent upon making Rahul her successor, but Rahul's lack of charisma and political understanding created a problem. It also carries glowing praise for Prime Minister Modi. Sharmishta writes that her father mentioned to her that in his opinion, Narendra Modi is the only Prime Minister after Indira Gandhi who has the ability to feel the pulse of people so acutely and accurately.
He felt that Rahul was yet to mature politically. You know, he praised Rahul as very, very courteous, full of questions. Once Rahul Gandhi came to meet my father in the morning. As it transpired that he was supposed to meet him in the evening, but Rahul's office had misinformed him that the meeting was in the morning. And when I asked my father, so he very sarcastically I mean, he was not really amused, you know, because he was a very particular man and, you know, so he very sarcastically commented that if Rahul's office can't differentiate between the AM and the PM, how do they hope to run the PMO one day?
Now, the revelations in this book have sparked a political war of words, with the Bharatiya Janata Party saying that it stands vindicated. But the Congress and its allies have stoutly defended Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
आज क्या मैच्योर हो गए हो क्या? आज भी तो वही है। वो कुल मिलाकर देखिए, ये सोने की चम्मच लेकर पैदा होने वाले राजा के घर में राज्य सीट काट वाट से रहने वाले लोग, और ये देश में सेवा की राजनीति इनके बस की बात नहीं।
See, I haven't read the book. The former president is a very seasoned politician and he's not here to clarify what he has said, so I'm really not in a position to comment about it. The Rahul Gandhi is the most acceptable leader for the rank and file of the party, and the entire rank and file accepts Rahul Gandhi as his leader.
जब देश के लोग और बीजेपी बोलती थी कि राहुल गांधी जी एरोगेंट हैं और ना समझ हैं, बचकाना है, बच्चे हैं अभी वो, तो गांधी परिवार इसको बुरा मानता था कि हमारे बेटे के प्रति बुरा बोलते हैं। सोनिया जी बुरा मानते थे, लेकिन अब तो उनके सीनियर लीडर रहे, जिनको उन्होंने राष्ट्रपति भी बनाया, प्रणब मुखर्जी ने अपनी किताब में माना है, अपनी डायरीज में, कि एक एरोगेंट है। इसके अंदर एरोगेंसी जो गांधी परिवार और नेहरू परिवार की लेगनेसी से जो एरोगेंस जकड़ थी, वही इसके अंदर थी। और यह भी कहा कि यह बच्चा था, और यह भी मानना कि ना समझ था। तो देश के आगे आज सामने है कि ये बच्चा, जिसकी अभी मानसिकता बड़ी नहीं हुई, जिनका दिमाग अभी भी छोटा है, वो प्रधानमंत्री बनने के सपने देखते हैं, इसलिए क्योंकि उनको लगता है मैं गांधी लेगेसी से हूँ।
जो बच्चा पैदा होता है वो माँ के पेट से मैच्योर नहीं पैदा होता है, वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जब बढ़ता है तो मैच्योर होता है। एक ज़माने में ये प्रणब मुखर्जी भी इमेच्योर थे, लेकिन एक स्टेज पे वो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया बने। तो आज राहुल गांधी जिस हिसाब से काम कर रहा है, जिस हिसाब से यात्रा की है उसने कश्मीर, कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक, तो उससे बीजेपी डर गई है।
Well, let's take this across to our guests. We have Mr. George Kurian, political analyst, joining us, and we're also waiting for Mr. R. Rajgopalan to join us as well. But Mr. Kurian, coming to you first and foremost, how do you see the comments that have been made in this particular book? Now, the authenticity of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's diary has not been questioned by anybody, and we have his daughter Sharmishta Mukherjee, of course, recounting some of the matters that Mr. Pranab Mukherjee has noted in his diary. In some places, she acknowledges that he praises Rahul Gandhi, but in others, he's quite critical of him. What do you have to say about what's come out?
Well, firstly, a very good evening to you, to my co-panelist here, Mr. Rajgopalan ji, and to your audience here. Let me begin by saying that, I'm really having an intent of doubt about the Rupa publication in question as to, who is behind Rupa publication and how it's getting the resources and things like that. Because we have seen in the past how Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, had written his autobiography, which was also, released and published by Rupa publication. And the same with Sharmishta Mukherjee's book, Pranabda, My Father, which she has written. So this is nothing but, Sharmishta Mukherjee, we need to understand, post 2014, she joined the Congress party, and post that, after the debacle in Delhi in 2020 assembly election, she started to, sideline herself, and she was the Mahila Congress chief of Delhi as well. So it was equally important for her to also take the Congress ideology and amplify it at the grassroots level as a Mahila Congress chief. Having said that, it's a matter of fact that Congress has given her an opportunity to contest the election in 2015 from Greater Kailash. She lost to Saurav Bharadwaj at that point in time. See, only when one tries to corner the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi in specific here through the book is not correct and uncalled for, I believe. And because they have got the Mukherjees have got everything that the Congress could offer them on a platter, and coming and publishing a book just to defame Rahul Gandhi or the Gandhi family here is really uncalled for.
Does this really amount to defamation? Mr. Kurian, you've of course gone after the publishers in this case, but what's stopping somebody from within the Congress right now to approach another publisher or the same publisher and publish their version of events and put out their version of events to contradict what Mr. Pranab Mukherjee noted in his diaries? The authenticity of those diaries has not yet been questioned, which is why that was the very first question that I asked you. Let me go across to Mr. R. Rajgopalan as well. Mr. Rajgopalan, is this really defamation when Sharmishta Mukherjee chooses to now recount some of the issues that Mr. Pranab Mukherjee is known to have noted down in his diaries, including certain observations of Rahul Gandhi? And if the Congress is so upset by some of these revelations, what's stopping them from publishing another book to rebut these claims?
You are correct, Siddharth. Good evening to you, Siddharth. Good evening to Mr. George Kurian, because, he has been a very gentleman. I have interacted with him a lot of time through your channel. And what he said, I would like to disagree with him. Though very respectfully, Mr. Kurian, if you give me permission, I will go further. Because the viewer of Times Now should have both the sides. Mr. Kurian argued for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I will argue for Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's book. Siddharth, you have also written a book. And that is a viral one. Apart from that, when Mr. Pranab Mukherjee released the book during his lifetime also, there were a lot of heckling against him. But Pranab Mukherjee's book, similar, if you can compare it, Mr. George Kurian should forgive me, Mr. Obama has also written a book in which Mr. Rahul Gandhi's appearance in that book for 3 times is also very derogatory one. Pranab Mukherjee's book is very derogatory one. Why should Mr. Rahul Gandhi disappear very often? Even Mamta Banerjee, who is an ardent supporter of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, during her days as a youth Congress chief, and also Mamta Banerjee was in Congress at that time, Pranab Mukherjee was senior leader. Hemanta Biswa Sharma, Janaki Vallabh Patnaik, even for that matter, Ghulam Nabi Azad, they were all Pranab Mukherjee's students in politics, in Congress disciples. But in all the books, Mamta Banerjee said in front of Sharad Pawar in Mumbai last month that Rahul Gandhi frequently visiting. Even today, the meeting of India Alliance was postponed because tomorrow morning Mr. Rahul Gandhi is flying abroad. That is the reason why Rahul Gandhi appears more time. Pranab Mukherjee's book is going to be very explosive. My understanding, during the lifetime of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, I accompanied him in at least 20 to 25 foreign trips, internal trips in India as a president, as a home minister. But his thoughts were not properly reflected in his book. because he used to share important news certain times with all the Bengali and other senior political correspondents.
All right.
Definitely he will say, even at the UPA 1, 2, 3 during the agreement of nuclear power agreement 1, 2, 3. The CPM withdrew support. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee also, when Mr. Pranab Mukherjee brought DMK and Congress together, those days, the book Reflection,
right.
I read that book, and those narration of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee to me, and also every day night at 8:30 to 9:30 or 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, he will write 4 or 5 points of that particular day. I have seen in his library some 45 to 50 books shelves like this. And date, time, he will put in. Very important one. From that memory, he wrote the book, and he has left a will also. For the viewers, I would like to say that will was, after my death, the chapter 4 should come. That is why Sharmishta Mukherjee has brought it. Salutations to Pranab Mukherjee. He brought the Indian history in his book, the Congress book. The Congress debacle in 2014 was irksome for Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, because he told me that time. And even in times now with the previous dispensation, I used to say that Congress will go to 2 digits because of Andhra bifurcation. Left to Pranab Mukherjee, he was not at all interested in bifurcating the state. But the compulsion of Madam Sonia Gandhi and the working committee. So these are all certain reflections of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee in his book. It's a worth reading book, though it may be derogatory against Mr. Rahul Gandhi, which is applicable during his lifetime of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee and after his demise also.
Very quick question to Mr. Kurian. You did say derogatory, Mr. Rajgopalan, but Sharmishta Mukherjee has actually come out and said there are parts of the book where Mr. Pranab Mukherjee has also praised Rahul Gandhi as well. So therefore, would it be prudent, Mr. Kurian, to be attributing motives to Sharmishta Mukherjee? She still identifies herself with the Congress party. She claims she's a primary member, though she's retired from active politics. So therefore, would it be right to be attributing malicious motives to her by coming out with this particular narrative, which she's attributed, by the way, to Mr. Pranab Mukherjee and his notes?
Well, not really. Sharmishta and myself, we are friends on Twitter. But having said that, because she is no more active in politics, and nothing that she can foresee a bright future within the Congress party. And so I strongly believe that, and I won't be surprised if Rupa Publications will approach Mr. Gehlot or Kamal Nath, or for that matter, Digvijay as well in the near future.
Okay, but what's stopping? Now, it's a rhetorical question. What's stopping somebody from the Congress to rebut Mr. Rajgopalan? What's stopping somebody from the Congress to approach another publisher and rebut these claims categorically and put out a narrative about Rahul Gandhi, which is not as unfavorable as they're interpreting Mr. Mukherjee's narrative to be?
Yeah, that is correct. As a devil's advocate, I would like to urge upon Mr. George Kurian. Come on, we both can write a story, write a book. If you are interested, we can co-author, like Mr. Siddharth has co-authored with Rahul Shivshankar. So therefore, we can also write the book. There is no one is stopping from that, George. You are very close to Pranab Mukherjee's dispensation. I knew that, but still, we can both write it. The other side of the picture of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's house. But whatever Mr. Pranab Mukherjee said, that carried weight. Whether George Kurian Rajagopal book will not carry that weight or not, I don't know.
Mr. Kurian, coming back to you once again, one of the critical observations that Mr. Mukherjee has made, or Sharmishta Mukherjee has made, attributing those quotes to her father, is Rahul Gandhi's conduct at the time that he decided to tear the ordinance. And this is 2013 that we're speaking of. Mr. Mukherjee was already the president of India by then. He took over in 2012. And that particular conduct has come in for serious criticism because it appeared to undermine the government. Even though Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself was not formally part of the cabinet, he did not serve in government. Do you think that's a valid observation to make, and that conduct was unbecoming on the part of Mr. Rahul Gandhi at that juncture?
Well, at this point in time, in the absence of Mr. Mukherjee, I don't want to, counter or put him into a bad light here. He has written what he felt at that point in time, and we all know that maturity only comes with time, and it is only in your 40s that one gets matured enough to take a right decision and put perspective in the right direction. So I strongly believe that Rahul Gandhi has changed, and it is for the public to see in the way he behaves himself, and politically he is matured enough to take things in the right perspective. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Rajgopalan, some would say that there could be political motives involved here. After all, if somebody, and Mr. Kurian also mentioned the example of Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, who came out with his own memoirs titled Azad, and there are some very unfavorable observations, unpalatable observations that Mr. Azad has also made about Mr. Rahul Gandhi, not so much about Sonia Gandhi, but definitely about Mr. Rahul Gandhi among others. So can political motives be completely divorced from a book of this nature? That's a question that can be asked.
Siddharth, for every book there is a political motive. Mr. A. Raja, the 2G arrested,
Yes.
and he went to Mr. Dr. Manmohan Singh, the Prime Minister, and was about to hold his collar. And he has written in his book. And Mr. Natwar Singh, when he was wanting to write a book, Madam Sonia Gandhi drove to Mr. Natwar Singh's house to delete certain portions about Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So therefore, there are books which are of political nature. I do agree, during election season, it's a curse on Indian democracy that every 6 months you have an election in India. Every book is released in every 6 months. Therefore, there is a contradiction, there is a correlation, there is a permutation. Everything is happening. So my understanding is every author should write, because Congress, especially Madam Sonia Gandhi, Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, were the authors of right to information. We should not deprive, we should not keep the viewers or the readers in dark. Right time, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee book is released.
Okay, so this is of course happening in the build-up to the Lok Sabha elections as well. Mr. Kurian, there are people from the Congress party who've also written books, not necessarily about the Congress so much as criticism of the Prime Minister himself. I remember one particular book written by Mr. Salman Soz of the Congress party. Mr. Shashi Tharoor has also written books on the Prime Minister, which does not present the Prime Minister in very favourable light. So is that also not politics, therefore?
Well, just to bring to your notice of your audience, let me also say that the Gandhi family have high regards for the Mukherjees, and so it's in that regard. And secondly, as you mentioned about Salman Soz or Shashi Tharoor, they have written their books in the right perspective with regards to 2014 and post 2014, how things have changed in the course of democracy in India. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, they have, but they made certain very critical political observations. Is it not the case, Mr. Rajgopalan, if Congress members can be writing books about the Prime Minister and presenting what they believe are facts that talk about what they describe as the non-performance of the current dispensation, what's stopping anybody else from recollecting what their father might have said about Rahul Gandhi at a particular point in time? We'll have to stop our debate short here. It's an interesting one, and we hope to carry this conversation later as well. But Mr. Rajgopalan, as well as Mr. Kurian, thank you very much for speaking to Times Now. We'll slip into a short break.
In a